What's good, y'all? It's your boy Muhammad Sanu. We here live at the Trail Report. You know what I'm saying? My boy C Hill. Y'all better stay tuned. You heard? Big talk.
LBJ gets emotional on son Bronny James. During the episode of the Mind the Game podcast with Steve Nash, James talked about what it's been like on the same team as his son, Bronny James, playing together this season. He said, I believe we scored 10 straight points between the two of us. I think we both had a three, both had a layup, whatever the case may be. I was able to throw him a lob, and we had that mini run between the two of us. That was just something that I will never forget. Something that I've learned, obviously, at my elder age of being 41 years old, to kind of appreciate the small wins in the moment. That was one of those moments where I've always been locked in. And right there, throwing him the lob, seeing him make the three, we're going back and forth. I kind of blanked out a little bit and just really accepted and relished that moment. He also said that Bronny has been a big motivation to keep him playing. To be able to have Bronny in the locker room has definitely helped me out a lot as well. I know I just have a job and responsibility to show him what it means to be a professional. And yes, he's seen it for most of his life, but now being in the locker room, being in film sessions, being on the plane, being in everything that surrounds how to be a professional athlete and the results that come with it, I have a responsibility in that. So LeBron James was just giving some comments on playing with his son Bronny James, and to start it off, I just want to say that's exactly why I was never on the bandwagon of saying, "Oh, he's trying to unfairly get his son in the NBA or whatever." Listen, his son is in the NBA. His son is in the NBA. Whether you like it, don't like it, the principle of him making his opinion known that his son should be an NBA player, that is not only being a great supporter of his son, but that's also just being obviously a great dad. That's him being a great father to try to get his son in the NBA, and his son is in the NBA because his son has the talent to be. He has not. I mean, LeBron can say that the dude playing at the park has talent all day, but no team has to pick up that dude at the park. And I'm not saying that LeBron's influence didn't have an impact in Bronny being in the NBA, because obviously we know it did. But at the same time, LeBron can petition for anyone to be in the NBA. That doesn't mean that they have the talent to remain in the NBA. The Lakers could have got Bronny and they could have cut him after because they just didn't like how he was playing. So, but it takes a real professional to actually be in the NBA and remain on the team, remain developing, remain playing well like he has in the G League, and remaining on the team, and like Bron said, being actually scoring points and getting adjusted to the NBA grind, the NBA rhythm. Now, granted, he has a huge advantage of adjusting to the NBA rhythm because his dad, is LeBron James. So, come on now. But anyway, for him to actually be getting adjusted to the NBA rhythm and adjusted to the NBA game and knowing how things work in the NBA, that takes a true professional in himself. His dad can't be a professional for him. People can say his dad helped get him into the NBA all day long, but his dad can't help him be a professional. His dad can't help him in the G League games. His dad can't help him when he's playing on the court. Like, LeBron can try to make any player look good. LeBron has done that multiple times over his career. Made players who may not have been as may not have been necessarily elite players or whatever. He's made them look better than maybe they had the record of playing in the past of their career. He made them play better than they had before. He's done that multiple times over his career. But still, even in that scenario, same with his son, LeBron could pass you the ball or set you up all day long, all game long. But if you aren't doing your job as a professional basketball player, it doesn't matter how much LeBron tries to help you. It's not gonna result in you being on number one on the team long, and number two and number two in the NBA long, because if teams see that you can't get your game right with someone like LeBron James, who's known to help raise your game, then that other NBA GMs and other NBA front office execs are going to be like, yeah, he's not a competent player because he could make these situations work. So, but that's the same thing with his son. His son is making these situations work when he's getting into games. He's not looking lost. He's actually trying to put in effort, trying to play. Everybody is not going to be a first round pick. Everyone's not going to be just come in, scorch earth, light the league on fire, and just it is what it is. I feel like that was the expectation from a second round pick in Bronny James. That's not the case. Bronny James is a developmental player. He'll develop over time. I think he definitely has the talent and the capabilities to be a player that's in the league for a long time. But I just feel like the sentiment that LeBron is somehow in the wrong for helping his son or petitioning for his son to be in the NBA. I never agree with that. I just felt like he stated his opinion that his son should be in the NBA. It ended up happening. The Lakers ended up taking a chance on his son, and his son showed the talent to stay on the Lakers team for this long. So it's just, in my opinion, that's how it goes. Now, to the point of what LeBron James was talking about, him saying that his son has given him like a little bit more motivation to play, I completely understand that, and I can definitely see where LeBron is coming from that, because LeBron can feel however he feels, during a game or whatever may be going on. He can feel however he feels, or want to be. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. You're not always gonna be feeling sunshine and rainbows every single day. We all have our good days, we have our bad days, right? That's everyone. Same thing with everyone, okay? Myself, I'm sure you guys, everybody. Good days and bad days, just keeping it real. If people say they don't have good days and bad days, then, well, you know what they're full of. Anyway, the thing is, LeBron can feel however he wants to feel. But he knows in the back of his mind now that he has to be a good example for his son. Now, he always had to be that because he is a father at the end of the day regardless. He's a father and a husband and son, so he has to think about all of that regardless. And he's, as a public figure, so he always has to think about things that he's doing. That's always been the case. But it's even more so to his point of motivation, to where when LeBron is feeling a certain way or certain things may bother him, he has to really, in my opinion, think about how he's handling things now, because now he knows his son is in the locker room. He knows his son is around. He knows his son is actually in these circles now. So he knows that he has to kind of watch how he handles things, how he approaches going about things from a day-to-day perspective, because he knows that if his son sees him doing it, and I'm not saying that if his son is just like to the point to where that if Bronny sees Bron doing it, then Bronny will just start acting a way too. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is Bronny 100% looks up to his dad. I mean, that's no shock to anyone. That's anyone. Of course, you look up to your parents or look up to your dad or your mom. Of course, that's natural, right? Especially if you have a positive figure like a LeBron is. So you want to look up to him. That's natural with anyone. So his son, Bronny, is prone to follow what his dad does. So LeBron can't maybe behave, or not behave, but he can't react to certain things in a negative way. Not to say that he would anyway, but he can't react to things in a negative way, because if Bronny sees that, then Bronny gonna be like, oh well, that's how you handle it, okay. And then now that's in the back of his mind, of Bronny's mind now, that well, if something don't go my way, then I could just act this way about it. So Bron knows now that he can't just behave a certain way or have a certain energy or have a certain body language. Pause. He has to be that constant example. And he, don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure he's always had this in mind, But now his son is in the locker room. His son is in the meetings. Your son is in, like you said, on the plane. Bronny is everywhere with you. He's on the team. He's your teammate. So he's everywhere with you. So it goes beyond being a father now. Now you're teammates. And we all know how it goes with teammates, with stories and stuff like that. Teammates, you build a brothership or a brotherhood, however you want to put it. Normally, that's how. Now, obviously, teammates don't always get along, but you build a brotherhood and a brotherly kind of connection normally because you're around each other so much. You're practicing together. You're eating together. You're playing together. Pause. But you're doing things and you're always normally around each other for the most part. When you go to work, you're around each other. You're in the meetings, you're around each other. Playing, everything, you're around each other. Bronny is Bron's teammate at this point. So he sees everything that Bron does, from body language to energy to swagger to how Bron acts when things don't go right, or how they were playing to when things go right and go how they were playing to. Bronny sees all of that. So Bron knows now that he can't just react freely, or not freely, but he can't just react just off the cuff now. He knows that, because then maybe Bronny might act off the cuff if some don't go his way. Bron knows that he has to be that constant example. And I think from the proud side, I think that has, once again, to Bron's point, made him happy, because Bron actually being that example, that constant example, always saying keep the main thing. For him to get the payoff in being able to play with Bronny and see Bronny actually producing, and to see Bronny on the court with him, like he said, and throwing lobs to each other, and actually seeing Bronny knock down threes, and seeing Bronny make switches on defense, and seeing Bronny be active, and seeing Bronny do all these things, the payoff is probably like paradise for Bron, because that gives him nothing but motivation to say, well, to be here around my son, I assume for Bron, this is like, once again, paradise. Because, once again, being that example, being that having those conversations with Bronny, being that father figure to tell him, hey, if you work hard and you grind, you can get to this point. And now to have Bronny there, but also now to have Bronny as a teammate to further implement those points that I'm probably sure he's always told Bronny, but to further use those points that he's always told him and see them actually come into fruition, like as far as seeing Bronny actually on the court playing alongside you, if hypothetically from Bron's point of view, to see your son playing alongside you and see your son producing alongside you, you passing your son the ball, and he, like he said, he knocking down threes, and to see, or you throwing your son a lob, or your son passing you the ball, and you doing, and you producing off of it. You guys going back and forth with the layup exchange like he was talking about. That probably is so dope for LeBron to be a part of, because this is what LeBron has always said he wanted. So for him to actually be experiencing it now, like I said, this is probably paradise for LeBron, and I completely understand where he's coming from, honestly. So I think to this point, I think that, and I don't know this for a fact, obviously, because LeBron did play in the Olympic gold medal game, and he brought home the gold for USA, or helped bring home the gold for USA. Shout out to USA, by the way, Team USA. He helped, bring home the gold and stuff like that, Captain America, all that stuff. And he said, that'll probably be his last Olympics and everything. I don't know. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know, and I'm a huge LeBron fan myself, but I don't know if the Bronny thing doesn't happen. I'm not sure if LeBron sees the worth in giving these last couple years, or even this year, I don't know if he sees the worth in giving it a run. I think he probably starts looking at retirement a little bit more seriously. Now, I think he's going to retire soon anyway, because I think he's he's done everything that you can want to do as a professional basketball player. He's done everything that you would want to do. Like, in my opinion, LeBron is, in my opinion, the greatest player of all time. So he's done everything as a basketball player that you would want to do. Um, so I don't think that really weighs heavy on him anymore. I think Bronny being on the team kind of gave him some motivation to keep doing it, because I don't, like I say, there's no real motivation, to be honest. There's no motivation outside of, and I'm sure Braun can find some motivation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, he can make up some motivation, like, look at the reports of people saying he's old, or look at reports of people saying he's washed. Like in 2020, when his whole motivation was the washed king thing, people were saying he's washed, and he was the whole washed king thing, and LeBron had one of the coldest comebacks in my opinion. He said, "Meet me at the cleaners." That was that was fire in my opinion. But anyway, there is not much motivation to LeBron to keep playing, in my view, other than Bronny being there. Because what's the motivation? I mean, you won, you brought home the gold for Team USA. As Captain America and everything, you helped bring home the gold. Still play at a high level. I think after maybe last year, I think that's maybe it for LeBron. Or maybe the year before that is probably it for LeBron, if Bronny wouldn't have ultimately end up being a Laker and being LeBron's teammate. So I think he definitely has added some motivation. But I think that's dope, man. I'm happy that we got a chance to see this. We got to see greatness. We got to witness greatness and history be made. We got to witness all of that with the first father and son duo. So I'm glad that we got a chance to see this, and I'm glad that LeBron is getting more fuel to his fire off of this. And I hope it's doing the same for Bronny. I hope Bronny is using this time with his dad and his teammate to really enjoy this and add fuel to his fire to further develop and become a better player in this league. But that's dope, man. That's dope for real. Yo, it's me, Chill, from the Chill Report. If y'all watched the video, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to come back next time. Before you leave, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Become one of the chillest players in the game. And I'm out. Peace.